Okay, see Lindelof videos. Graphing linear functions. We're going to graph all of these in the standard form of a linear function. And I'm just going to go through three quick problems. Just going to show you how I would do this. First thing I would do is when I try to graph a linear function, keeping in mind it's a line, I just need 2 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make an input-output table or a XY table, however you want to describe it. XY. Remember, when we graph a point, we get the point XY. So that's what we have here. We're going to try to get a point x, y. So the first thing is just pick some easy number, right? Just pick some easy number close to 0. I'm going to actually choose 0 here, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into this equation. So our equation is y equals 2x, right, minus 3, and we chose that x was going to equal 0. So I'm just going to plug it in. So y equals 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 3 is negative 3, right? So there's our first point. Second point, we're going to do exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. We're just going to pick a different x value. I'm just going to rewrite the equation right here, right? This is where our x goes, right? Our x goes right in here. And we're going to pick an x value, and I'm going to pick, I don't know, 2. 2 seems like a good x value, so 2. So say if we have our first point, 0, negative 3. Our second point is 2 something. So we put 2 in. 2 times 2, right? This is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 3 equals 1. So that gives us the point 2, 1, right? So all we're going to do is we pick numbers and we plug them in for x. And then we see what comes out the other side. From there, I'm just going to graph this really quickly. And this is what your teacher is going to be looking for, a quick graph, say sketching the graph. So here's our Cartesian plane, right? Here's the x-axis and here's the y-axis. The first point we got was 0, negative 3. So 0, negative 3. 0, negative 3 right here. And then the next point we got was point 2, 1. So go over 2. Start at the origin, go over 2. 1, 2, up 1. Right? And then draw a line that goes through it. So it passes through this point, and this is the point 2, 1. All right, just another quick example. We're going to try to do all this in less than 4 minutes. So the same technique we used on the last one. So we're going to make an input-output table, right? We need 2 points to graph a line. 2 points are 2 solutions. We're going to pick some number. I always pick 0, so I'll take 0, and I'm going to put it down here into our function. Y is equal to negative 3, right? This is where x goes, x plus 2. We chose 0, so we're just going to put 0 in. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2, so there's our first point. Second point that we have, let's pick something. What are you going to pick? Let's pick 3. Why not, right? You can pick any number you want. I just like to pick smaller numbers because they're easier to work with, so 3. So 3. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in my 3 here. I'm going to put in 3. Put in 3. Be careful here. This is negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, right? And negative 9 plus 2 is equal to negative 7, right? Right? Yep, negative 7. Negative 7. So we have our 2 points. We have the point 0, 2 and the point 3, negative 7. I'm going to draw our Cartesian plane. This is the xy axis. We have 0, 2 is here maybe. 0, 2. And we have 3, negative 7. So we go over 3, down 7 maybe. So let's call this 3, negative 7. Of course, if your teacher provided you with a grid, then you could actually use that instead. But here's our graph. All right. So remember, input-output table because we need 2 points to draw a line, and then draw them on the Cartesian plane and draw a line that passes through them. Here's the last one, which is a little bit interesting because this is one that people kind of mess up because they're not sure how to make this easier on themselves. Same thing, XY table. You know me already. You know I'm going to use 0. I'm going to plug 0 in. I'm going to get y is equal to 1/2 x, right, minus 5. I'm going to plug in 0 and get negative 5 out, right? With the second point, what I'm going to do to make it easier on myself is, look, check this out. This is really important. See this 2 down here? This 2 tells me if I use a number that is a multiple of 2, this is going to turn into a whole number. That is a lot easier than trying to graph fractions. So I'm going to choose something like 4. Let's choose 4, right? So 4. Remember, when we multiply fractions, we multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and that gives us 4 over 2 minus 5, right? 4 over 2 is 2, and 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So that gives us the point 4, negative 3. Right, let me check my math here. All right, 2, negative 3, 4, negative 3. Again, quick sketch of our graph. We have 0, negative 5, 0, negative 5, and we have 4, 4, negative 3, maybe it's here. So let's call this 4, negative 3. Draw a line that passes through both points, right? And there's our function. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. It's not super difficult to graph a line. You just have to have some small plan. And my plan is always make an input-output table to find points, right? Because this is a point, right? This is the point 0, negative 5, point 4, negative 3. And then plot the 2 points and graph them. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And comments are always welcome. Thanks.